Hello everyone, and welcome to the Classical Next live interview that will begin in just a few moments. I simply wanted to take the opportunity to thank you very much for tuning in today and to give you a little update on what is going on at Classical Next. As ever, we remain a platform for exchange for the global art music community, and in the run-up to our first ever online broadcast of the Classical Next Innovation Award, we are speaking to previous recipients of the award and innovators across the ecosystem, which is the background to doing this interview today. Jakub Fiebig, the founder of ONSTAGE, who you are about to hear from, got in touch with us a couple of weeks ago telling us about what he calls his Corona solution. It's cross-sector and usable for anyone around the world. And Classical Next has been collaborating with ONSTAGE for the last week to make this happen. We hope that you will learn something from it, be inspired, or even find a use for the app. Just because we cannot actually meet in Rotterdam this year doesn't mean that the conversation can't keep going. So without much further ado, let me bring in Jakub, who is in the Zoom waiting room. My name is Aliena, and I will be asking Jakub the questions today. The second part of this live will be a question and answer session. So for those of you watching through Facebook, please leave your comments below and I'll do my best to get all of your questions answered. All right, so just bear with me a few minutes while I click some buttons and we'll get started. Hi, Jakub, welcome.
Hello.
So, Jakub, please tell our viewers, who are you, where are you based, and tell us a little bit about what you do.
Okay, so welcome everybody, and thank you so much for organizing this. This is the first time doing Facebook Live, and this is a fantastic journey for me because I did for the first time in cooperation with you at Classical Next the Insta Takeover on Friday, which was super exciting. And now doing the Facebook Live is even more exciting. And, well, I'm Jakub, and I'm a viola player from training. I've graduated from the University of Music here in Warsaw, where I'm based. But for the past 3 years, I have been focusing mostly on app development and different actually solutions for the art industry on how we can use technologies to help our industry, really. And I have a foundation here in Warsaw, which has one of the biggest now online piano competitions. We started 5 years ago as a big experiment. And one of the biggest products now for myself is actually ONSTAGE app, which is the theme of the talk today.
Yeah, exactly. So why don't you tell us a little bit about ONSTAGE, a little bit about the story and the ideas and the inspiration for getting the app started?
Sure. So the app, as you can see today, is actually a tool for concert organizers with two purposes. We have two missions. So one is to allow concert organizers to be able to fully replace printed program booklets at some point once your audiences are adjusted to a new tool, which is an app. And second of all, to give a completely new concert experience with the use of our video solution. And how it works. This is actually how the app started 3 years ago, because I have this mission, like my personal mission is to go out with classical music outside of concert halls and bring the joy to people who don't know yet that they may like classical music experience.
Yeah.
And this has been something that I was setting for the past 10 years already. And always, I found out very surprisingly that people who have never been to classical music concert, if they have been kind of nicely introduced to it, they just loved it. And they didn't have to know about, the history of a composer or a piece. This is not that important, I believe, for a majority of the society, but it's actually the live sound that is so exciting and keeps people really, energized and they want to come back. So that was the first question, what is most important in our industry? And for me, the answer was very clear, it is live sound. So we came up with this video solution, which was, of course, a huge experiment at the very beginning, because the idea was to bring smartphones to the concert hall, which, as we know, is a complete reverse thinking to whatever is already existing, because the first message we hear when we go to the concert hall is, please switch off your mobile phones.
Yeah.
When we have a concert with ONSTAGE, it's rather the opposite. do turn it on and enjoy. No, it's from different perspectives. So,
but turn notifications off, right? You don't want it ringing in the middle of a concert.
and it's actually funny enough that during none of the concert with OnStage, because people were aware of what they are using, none of the notifications were actually, out loud, because everybody who wanted to use headphone in the hand, so they saw that is actually on a silent mode, rather than putting your phone before the concert to the pocket and forgetting about it.
Yeah.
So it's actually a funny thing. But, the easiest thing to really explain how it works, I mean, imagine yourself being in a big concert hall, like 1,500 people, for example, and you sit on the first balcony, which probably is 80, 100 meters away from the stage. And when you have 100 people on the stage, like a typical symphony orchestra, you really cannot see details of how people produce sound, how they put fingers on a fingerboard, or even simple things like a face of a conductor. You just cannot see that.
Yeah.
So our idea here in the office was how we can make a concert experience when you have live sound already, because you are at the concert hall, a new and exciting thing. We have come up with this video solution, which allows each audience member who is sitting in the concert hall, from the perspective of a smartphone, to see different angles of 4 different cameras that are streaming at the same time. And what is very important, of course, we do not stream sound, so it cannot be used outside of the concert hall, but it can be used only internally by people who are sitting in the concert hall. So now you have had this great sound on the first balcony, and now with OnStage, you can also have great picture, because with our technology, the delay is super small. It's like less than 300 milliseconds. So it really matches the live sound that you are experiencing. And you can just change between the cameras and observe what, in your personal opinion, is most interesting to follow in a real time during the concert experience.
Okay, and then does that work because everyone is connected to one Wi-Fi network?
Yes, this is something that we also provide with our services, because the amount of data is pretty massive with the live streaming from 4 different cameras. So we also provide internal Wi-Fi that is very fast and allows people who are sitting in the on-stage zone, because we always, in most cases, we create a zone, so the conservative part, who don't want to see people sitting next to them playing with the phone, are not disturbed. So the zone, like for example, a balcony or a back rows, where really the visibility is not as good, where smartphones is allowed, and people know in advance that in this area they will be able to use smartphones during the concert. Okay.
And I suppose if you have a program and you planned it all in advance, you can actually program the cameras to focus on someone who will have a solo in the middle of a piece, or who's a guest performer. You can set that all up beforehand.
Absolutely. We work only with concert organizers directly. So usually what happens is that, technically speaking, 1 month before, we have a technical call with our team from Warsaw, responsible both for cameras and Wi-Fi. They speak with the technical team from the venue where we actually have a concert with OnStage app. And when it comes to the picture, of course, this is the most important thing, to provide really interesting, parts. Yeah. So what we do, we always get a PDF score for each of the pieces, and a person from our team then who's responsible for the cameras is actually following the score in real time. So we make sure that in all of the 4 cameras, we show things that are most interesting at a time.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So you have your video solution and you have a digital version of the program booklet. But
yes,
with what's happened in the last couple of weeks, with the coronavirus and concert venues having to be closed, I believe you saw an opportunity in this, and would you like to tell those watching what that was and how you've now adapted the app to suit the times?
Yes, I have asked actually myself a question when the entire lockdown started, pretty much, I think, at the same time everywhere in the world, when everything suddenly started to be canceled, and the event industry, including classical music and opera houses, festivals, and concert halls, that was affected mostly, because we suddenly lost, the possibility to perform and to organize concerts.
Yeah.
So I didn't have, a ready solution, but I just kept on going to the office, which keeps me energized. And I have my great espresso here. And I started to think, what can I do with the already existing software? And how can I adjust it very easily and very quickly to really support concert organizers in these difficult times? Because I have observed one thing. On my private Facebook page, I have liked, I still continue on liking, obviously, a lot of different things. And among those, I have concert halls, I've got opera houses, I've got festivals, but I also have my gym and other things. Now, when the lockdown started, I mean, everyone who is providing any kind of service, and that includes concerts, started to share things online.
Yeah.
Special events on demand, something that is available only for 24 hours, something that is available for 7 days. And, all of this huge amount of information. And I was thinking, oh my goodness, how am I going to follow on this? I mean,
it's just too much happening. Yeah.
There's just so much happening, and there is no one, rule that applies for everything. It's just every organizer is coming out with their own rules. And it's just, from my personal perspective, it seemed to be very chaotic.
Yeah.
I was thinking, what can I do to really help and to keep it all organized?
Yeah.
So again, coming back to the original use of the app, where we can deliver everything that so far has been printed in booklets, all of the biographies, descriptions, librettos, I mean, any additional materials that you want to deliver to your audience members. And now the app allows you to do that. What can we now do also to support the organizers so they can not only share a link to VOD channel or to YouTube or to anything else, but actually to deliver full content, which is, again, biographies, descriptions, making ofs, some kind of interviews. So basically whatever is available. And Facebook doesn't really allow you to do this, because you would have to list like 10 different links in one post or have 10 different posts. And then again, it's chaotic and people are getting lost very easily. Yeah. So I came up with, as I call it, Corona solution, how the app can now support the organizers by creating online events in the app, where you do not only provide a link to whatever is already available that you want to make available as a concert organizer, but you can actually surround it with all of the additional information that you want to provide for your audience members. And that was my idea to start with. And very quickly, I got first two big partners. First one was the National Opera House in Warsaw, the biggest cultural institution in the country. And that followed very quickly with the Opera Vision, again, biggest company that supports cooperation between different opera houses from around the world. Mm-hmm. And that's how it all started. And I see from, speaking with different organizers that actually this quite a simple, I have to say, solution, but you nicely organized everything in one place, can support the communication for concert organizers.
Okay, all right. And so you're talking mostly about concert organizers here. So could you maybe give an example for a concert organizer, and then maybe an example for someone who's not a concert organizer, but who could still make use of the app?
Yeah, so for the concert organizer is pretty much what I have just described. So you do not only have the possibility to provide a link to, let's say, YouTube recording that is available somewhere, and on Facebook again, or Instagram, or even your website, you would provide a link, maybe with a little description, and that's it, because that's what it allows you to do. And in ONSTAGE, what you can do, just create a full, very nicely displayed list, for example, of all of the soloists. I mean, for example, in opera performance, you have like 10 to 20 people involved in the performance, and it's not only soloists, but also director, choreographer, and all of these people you can now nicely list, not only by the name and the position, but also you can include a photo and biography, so you really deliver full content. And on top of the actual link to the recording, you can put all of the additional information, like making of interviews, referral links to see the recordings that are available on any of the streaming platform online. So really from the perspective from the end viewer, who is music lover, who is your fan, who is your audience member, they can very nicely and very easily find all of the content that they are looking for. And most importantly, you can deliver them additional content that they would have to search for themselves. And here, they don't have to do this because it's already being given by you, and they just click on it and they have it. So this is the perspective of concert hall, of the opera house, of the festival, of really any concert organizer. And from the perspective of an artist, we are also going to launch that possibility in the app where you as an artist can create your collection. So for example, you're an artist who is quite big and you have recorded, I don't know, 20 CDs over your career. Yeah. And you have, when you type in your name on YouTube, there will be 50 different links with different orchestras available, and some chamber concerts and some solo concerts. And even if somebody really follows you, they may get lost quite easily, even if they know your name and they want to put in your name to YouTube, because they may be lost at the very beginning to find what is the best performance. Mm-hmm. The app, we also have this possibility in which you do not only provide information about yourself as an artist, but you can also very easily provide, for example, the selection of the best recordings, in your opinion, of video recordings and CD recordings that are available. So you, again, instead of having 50 links for YouTube recordings and then 20 links for any streaming platform with these, you can just choose the best ones, which are, in your opinion, the best ones, because you can really be the one who is doing the selection, or your manager. Of course, this is really up to how you work, but you can very nicely display everything in one place. And for the music lover, again, who comes across your profile on OnStage, or is there because he saw or she saw on your Facebook that there is a collection available of the chosen the best recordings, they have everything in one place. I do not have to worry about looking for, what is the best performance for some reason. And here I have information provided by the artist or by the agency, because I strongly believe that this is also a very good tool during these days when there is no concerts, for agencies, because everyone now is in a desperate need of keeping in touch with audience members, because you don't want to lose them over the time when there is no concerts. Yeah, sure. So I believe that this is a solution that is, of course, I'm not saying this is the only way, but I think this is one of the ways in which, with a very easy, very fast working mobile solution, you can keep in touch constantly with your audience members by providing them with selected repertoire, with selected CD recording, with selected information that you want to have. And of course, you can repeat and repeat and repeat, because you can create new interviews, you can create new homemade concerts. So you can really keep on delivering on interesting content to whoever your viewer is.
Understand. So it almost becomes a bit of a portfolio that an artist, or for that matter, any form of ensemble, small, medium, large, a full-blown orchestra could use it too then.
Definitely, yes. This is the goal, to support basically everybody who is part of the industry, from the artist through small and medium ensembles to the huge ones who really have a lot of great things to share.
Okay. Well, I believe that you could show us a little bit how it works actually physically on screen. Maybe you want to show our viewers?
Yes, would love to. So what I'm about to share is the administrative panel, which allows each concert organizer or an artist to create an event on the app. So let me share my screen and hopefully that works. Can you, one second. Okay.
Yeah, working.
Yes, it's working?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So this is the administrative panel for everyone who wants to create an event. And there is no coding, so really anyone can use it, because this is how it's going to look like anyway. So you will see the list of all of the concerts, and this is an example of the National Opera House of Warsaw.
Okay.
And as you can see.
So sorry, Jakub. So they would. This is if they log into OnStage, this is what they would see. This would be their homepage, so to speak.
The homepage would be empty, and this is already the homepage when some of the events are already created in a panel. And this is the National Opera House in Warsaw, our partner. And you can see very clearly, if there is a published sign, that means that the app already has that displayed in a mobile app. So if you download the app now, you will see all of these concerts made available. And if we go to details, this is how the app works. And it's very intuitive and very simple. And let me just walk you through step by step how it works. So the app allows you to either choose one language, which is your national language, or public in two languages, which would be your national language, native language, and then English. But this is an optional thing. Or you can just keep it in English by choosing a language here.
Okay, great.
Always here on the right side, there is a display of the phone, how it appears in the app, roughly, because of course for every screen it's adjusted a little bit, but roughly you see how it appears. And you can see that in real time. So if I type it anything, as you can see, it automatically appears in here. So you can see in real time all of the changes that you make. And it's quite simple. What do? You choose an event image, then you put all of the description, event title, event description, and in this case, watch for free, the performance available only as VOD. And you can put in information until when it's available. You put it in a venue, country, city, location, and that's the most important part, what we were just mentioning about providing full content for your viewers. So you can put as many artists as you want, as you can see. And once we go to details, you can put a photo, you can put a description, you can put all of the information that you wish. And
so really combining here all the elements of what the ONSTAGE app was in its original form. I mean, your plan for it at the beginning when this began 3 years ago, but now you're also just making it accessible in a way. So you're combining the two features.
Exactly, yes. So we use the features that would be normally during the live concerts, and now we can put it all for online exposure for all of the viewers. And it goes with composers, with program. And now here is the most important part for this Corona solution, which are clickable links. So it's in Polish, but my panel is in Polish, but this means watch. So once we go to details, you can provide a nice picture, which actually my team is providing for you with a play button. And how it works here, you just put in whatever link with existing video recording is available. And that's it. And then it's clickable from the app, so people can be directed to anything that you want to make available. And here you can provide any additional content. Like in this, this is the program of, this is the libretto really. Then you can have a trailer, a making of, and you can really, whatever material you have available, you can make it available here in the application. And I will scroll now. This is how it looks like in the app. So you can see the description, like watch, and then a button, and then the trailer, and then the making of, and all of this is clickable. And as well as here, you can provide, for example, link to any streaming platform with a CD that is recorded by your orchestra or by the opera house or by the same artist who is the main soloist in the performance. It's really completely up to you what kind of content you want to make it available for your audiences. And here you provide social media links. And if you wish, there is also an optional feature of an email that you can provide for your audience members to be able to contact you. So you can just put in info at whatever, and people will be able, again, from the app itself, be able to be in touch with you.
Okay, great. And just one thing about the links, so we're clear. You can add a link to something that is pre-recorded, but you can also put the link in for a live stream.
Correct. Yes. So if you're planning on a live stream right now from home or anything, so the watch button would be directing you, like I believe we did with our conversation, where in the promotion we have, I mean, you as Classical Next have been informing that this conversation is going to happen here and here on this very special link. So the same would appear here. So you create an event on Facebook or YouTube or anything where you want to make your live performance, and you just provide it here. So people, if they click watch, they will be directed exactly to what you have provided in here.
Okay. Fantastic. Very cool. Can I ask you a little bit about some of the wider functionalities of the app?
Yes, sure.
So, I mean, beyond this, what are some of the options that people can have as users if you're just making use of the app?
So on top of having all of these, what we have just walked through, for example, the application allows you to also provide a PDF music score. So again, if you have a program, you just choose a composer, then you put a title. So you fill in all of the information, and you can have it as a PDF for you as an end user who is the audience member or the music lover. You can have a PDF music score. Also in the application, it doesn't appear in here, but what happens from the perspective of the app, if you open a mobile app, there is also a button that allows you to add a performance to the favorite list, which appears in the app on the main menu here in the middle, where is the favorites. And what is very important, it adds to your personal calendar on the phone. So if there is, like in this case, 27th of April, I believe it's, what time is it here? Yeah, it's 8 p.m. our local time. Then you can just click on add to my personal calendar, and what the benefit of this is that it wouldn't get lost between all of the events on Facebook if you have, as I said before, e-learning platform, online yoga class, and 2 other performances. But actually, it really is something that you are definitely interested in, so it goes into your personal calendar on the phone.
Okay, wow. So an artist can have their own personal portfolio, a user can have their own personal calendar. Is there anything else that the app can do?
During offline concerts, what is very important, the app can also navigate audience member to the venue, because
cool.
Very often we just go for the first time somewhere. If it's a church or a festival in different locations, over in a big concert hall, it can be the first time for us to go there. So how it works, again, from the perspective of organizer, in the administrative panel, you provide the address of where the concert is physically happening. And from the perspective of an audience member, in the app, you see a navigate button, which you click on, and it asks you whether to use Google Maps or Uber or anything else that will simply get you to the place.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it actually has a geolocation function.
Yes, so now for the Corona solution, geolocation has been switched off because it wouldn't make much sense. So how all of the concerts appear in the app are just by date, as you will see if you download the app. But for the offline concerts, the app uses geolocation. So how it works, because the idea, the big mission of the app is actually to have different concert organizers from around the globe to use one app. Mm-hmm. So audiences around the globe, they know that if they're looking for a classical music concert, they will find it in ONSTAGE. So if you're today in Warsaw, like I am, and there is, for example, National Opera House, and there is National Philharmonic, and there is two more organizers like festivals that are happening today, they're all available in the app. So if I open the app, first concerts that will be presented to me are the one physically closest to where I am. But there's also a search possibility. So if I know that I'm traveling in 2 days to London, I can just put in what is happening in London, and all of the organizers who made their concert available in the app will be visible, of course, in the app, which gives automatically global visibility and cross-promotion aspect to all of the organizers who have decided to use the app. Because instead of using your own individual application as a concert organizer, you will attract people to use ONSTAGE, and many other organizers do the same thing. That means that there is a lot of people from different marketing resources attracted to use the same tool, which means that you do not only reach your audience members, but automatically reach audience members by other organizers who were, attracted to use the same app. And that is the big goal for us for the next years to come.
Yeah, understand. So it would be one of those things, almost as if you're using one of these transportation apps, if you're like a car share, and it shows you all the cars that are available, but you would actually be able to see what concerts are happening in whatever radius you enter.
Exactly, because I strongly believe that there is part of the audience that are, classical music freaks, and they know exactly, they buy season tickets, and they just know exactly what is happening.
Yeah.
And they already know about your concert hall, they already know about the orchestra. But there is, as we started the conversation, I strongly believe that classical music is so attractive, that there is so much from, Middle Ages until today, that everybody can find something interesting for themselves. So I strongly believe that we can really reach people who have never been to the concert hall, providing them with a nice mobile-friendly solution, and they will come to enjoy the concert. So as you are saying, for my answer to this would be that for somebody who already knows about the existence of your concert hall, they will anyway check your program, they will check your season. But for somebody who would like to try, they may only know one name of one organizer in such a big city like Warsaw, where there is tens of organizers of classical music concerts. And by having all of this available in one app, we take away from the audience member or potential audience member the need of going to Google and looking for a classical music concert in my city today, because they would have to visit a number of different websites to be able to see what is happening here or here or here. Instead of this, with the geolocation, they just open the app and they just see different possibilities in one place, and they don't need to know all of the names of different organizers because this has been already provided for them. So it's, one step less to look for something that can be interesting for you today.
Yeah, I mean, what I find really attractive about it is that not only is it just a list of links where you look blindly, and if you happen to be unfamiliar with the production or with the program that they're playing, that you have the information incorporated into the app that makes it more accessible, and you can read about it before clicking through it and then having to wait a couple of minutes and see if it's something for you. But also, it's that I don't have to then download an app for every concert hall or for every orchestra or for every opera house. If it's all already available, then I've saved myself some phone storage space, but I get all the information about it, and it makes it seem, it almost feels like if I click on the profile for that opera house or that concert hall, it sort of belongs to them anyways. So
Exactly.
I find it like a really attractive solution, actually. But just on that, what will there be any difference moving forward if we ever go back to normal? Who knows when? Is the app being developed in a way where everything that happens on it now will be brought forward, or are there sort of Corona specific solutions?
So there is no direct answer to this question. Okay. And I'm saying from the experience, I've been working on this project for the past 3 years, and believe me, but all of the functionalities that we can see now, I don't want to say have nothing to do with the original functionalities that we came up with, but it really is always the matter of saying and showing to the potential customer, to the market, like in Classical Next. Last year, I think I have had over 30 direct personal meetings with different concerns, with small ones, with big ones, with festivals, with concert halls. And almost everybody had different idea of how the app could be used for their organization. So then it's, I think, I would have to say that this is like a constant learning process. Yeah. It's not that I'm the genius or my team is the genius and we can come up with the best solution, the best features. No, it doesn't work like this. So how it works, you have an idea and then you need to speak with the market. You need to speak with the representatives of the market. And then you see what they like, what they value, what kind of ideas sometimes they have to bring into the app. So then it can be really, really attractive for the industry in general. So basically I would have to say that my work here is to be really an open listener to everybody who I'm working with currently or who I'm planning on working in the future, and then to make wise decision which kind of developments in the app to take to make sure that it suits majority of the potential users of the app. So there is no direct yes or no, but I strongly believe that already, by having Corona solution in place, by already having different concert organizers who are interested in using the app, I can see that some of the features will be used when Corona is over. I mean, for example, in the links where you can direct people to the live stream or to anything that is available on like interviews or anything like that, I think that concert organizers for the offline concerts, when they present Friday evening concert a month before, and they nicely display all the information, what can be already used from the Corona solution is linking CD recordings to the recording, for example, of your orchestra or the soloist that is going to appear, to really make it kind of a little bit of a preparation, kind of a little education for people who really want to come for live performance, but would like to get a little bit of knowledge before they come, or they would like to listen to the recording of that very symphony because they've never heard it. Mm-hmm. It's already a recording available by your orchestra of this symphony from years before, and can be used like a little bit of a preparation. So I know a little bit what is going to happen when I eventually come to the concert hall. And I greatly believe that this is something that people really, really appreciate, because, I'm asking very often people who have nothing to do with classical music and have never been to the concert hall. I'm asking why. I mean,
why have they not been to the concert hall?
Why have you not been to the? I mean, it's not too expensive for you because you can afford this and this, so it's not that it's out of your range. So why? And usually the answers are actually super interesting for me, and they usually say, well, I don't know how I'm going to behave. What if somebody asks me a question, what I thought about the piece? I don't know how to dress up, and all of these, very basic human, questions. I think that by providing all of that content nicely displayed with, again, with the streaming services that everybody is using today, with the YouTube links, with some kind of, for example, an interview with a conductor, how often can you do that? I mean, how often can you see something like this prior to going to the concert? It almost doesn't happen. Yeah. Only organizers do that. And if this is kind of a, trend that would be a nice way of announcing your concert and made available in the app, I really believe that it would turn a lot of people from hesitating or whether I belong to this place to actually thinking, wow, I know something. I know this person read a little bit because I was able to watch a 2-minute long interview, but this is usually enough. So they familiar with a little bit of a content. They all know that there's only human beings behind, these great productions, these great soloists. These are all human beings, so showing to audiences even a little bit of a human aspect. Like everybody now, I mean, it's enough to open an Instagram account. If you like all of the big artists, you will see how they, make bread now at home. How they water their plants, because all of this is happening. So now they are sharing all of the, human aspects of who they are. And I believe that some of these things, I think we will be learning a lot from Corona and from the lockdown of how we can communicate.
Yeah.
I believe that ONSTAGE is allowing you to use some of these possibilities to provide content to your either current concert goers or the future ones.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a way of making it accessible. You're opening the doors. So we have some questions coming in, actually. From
exciting.
One is, can you integrate with a camera system that is already present in a concert hall?
Most probably not. Okay. Why? Because it's all about the latency. So the idea of what we do is actually to make sure that the picture that your audience members can see is matching the real sound, because the sound is always acoustic in a concert hall. Mm-hmm. It took us 1 year to choose the cameras that have the lowest latency from the moment when they capture the picture to send it to the server, because it takes some milliseconds, and from device to device, it just changes. So we have our in-house cameras that we always travel with, and there is no extra cost because these are our cameras. But unfortunately, to use what is already existing, and most probably is not going to happen because of the latency. And it can be super small number, like 50 milliseconds difference, but it already makes a big difference for the audience member who really wants to have real-time picture matching real sound.
Okay. So currently the ONSTAGE team would have to travel to the venue?
Yes, yes, for two reasons. One is the cameras, and the second reason is the Wi-Fi, because it really has to be provided by us. So how it technically works, we have an access to the venue one day before the concert happens, or at least one night. So if there's anything a night before, we can enter the venue 10, 11 p.m., whatever time the previous performance ends. And then we need approximately 8 hours to work with putting all the cables and everything to make sure that everything is provided. And then we are ready for the rehearsal to test everything, and of course for the concert in the evening.
Okay, yeah, but so that's still there's a two-part solution there. One, if someone wants to offer the video option, and then also you can still keep posting your
yeah, so for example, I mean, video solution is an added on premium feature. Okay. So for example, if you're a concert organizer and you run 100 concerts in a season, you can have all of these concerts available as a digital program booklet.
Right.
Choose 2, 5, 10, whatever number you wish to have this add-on premium feature, which is a video solution.
Yeah. Okay. Understood. Another question is, I think this was from a couple minutes ago, going back to the conversation of how concert organizers make use of the app. When you were sharing your screen and showing all the information that was going in, that's information that's normally put on the concert venue's homepage when they're building their own website. So what would the incentive be for an organizer to put in the information again now on a separate app?
Okay, so from what I've learned by working with different organizers, there is no website that I came across or I was presented to which really allows you to put all of the information that you would put and print in a printed program booklet. Because always what organizers present on a website is some kind of a general description of a concert. And I haven't seen the website that would provide from concert to concert full information that actually varies, because you have different number of soloists, you have different number of pieces being performed, and there is quite a lot of different things that are changing from concert to concert. And this is always fully printed in a booklet that you provide for your audience members who actually come to the concert hall. And now we allow to put all of the information in advance in the app, because the app is constructed exactly in the way to complement the printed program booklets rather than the website. So it's not about not putting anything on the website, but I strongly believe that website is a place, because of its limits and programming and everything, that allows you to provide kind of a basic information about the concert and kind of a basic description. But all of the additional information that you normally print, you are not always able to provide for many reasons because of technologies. Yeah. And now the app allows you to put all of the information as a replacement for printed program booklets.
Okay, yeah, understood. And also if you're using the app, the more information that's available, the more curiosity the person would have, and maybe the more interest, especially for the new audiences that you're talking about.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So we have one question here. Also, can you upload PDFs? Yes.
Yes.
Or is it just scores or
no.
PDFs?
No. So for example, librettos and all of the other materials, like even for concert organizers in many parts of the world, it's super important what kind of visibility they provide for the sponsors. Okay. And I mean, in the States, very often half of the booklet is just pages with sponsorship materials. And what app allows you to do is actually to do a little bit more, because now you can not only provide, for example, in the links which I was showing that you can have a trailer, an interview or something, they're all clickable. So what you can do, you can link the PDF file that is not just one pager, but it can be a full file presenting your sponsor or your partner or whatever you want to really present. But also what app allows you to do now is to link, for example, an audio recording or a video recording. So there is a new feature of the advertisement that you can provide for your audience members, and that is super interesting for your sponsor because they get completely new visibility.
Great. Another question. Do you have an integrated solution to sell a ticket?
Yes, we do. So we, as a company, we do not sell tickets ourselves, but in each event, there is a buy ticket button in the app at the bottom. So what do you do as a concert organizer? You just link whatever existing ticket sales services you have. We don't make money on this part. So you just link it and people will be redirected from the app to the website of whoever is your provider right now.
Okay. Another question. They're really coming in now. This is great. How many people are using the app already? And can you make a separation between the people from the industry and the audience?
The first part is few thousand, which we're using right now. And the publicity that we get is over 100,000 already with the online social platforms of all our partners. Mm-hmm. That's the answer to the question number one. And the second part, I'm not sure if I understand it correctly, because from the perspective of a concert organizer, what you do, you use the administrative panel we have presented to you to provide the content. And the end user, who is your concert goer audience member, they don't have anything to do with the administrative panel, obviously. What they only use is the app that is for them completely for free, available in both iOS and Android store.
I think the question is asking about, are you able to tell the difference between the users of industry people versus audience members?
Oh yes, of course, because the industry people are people who I see as my clients on my list, and this has nothing to do with the mobile app, because I see them as my client list. Yeah. And end users are always, in like 99% of the users, will be the audience members who want to get information about the concerts.
Okay, all right. Will the app give you suggestions based on preferences?
Yes, it will, not just yet, but this is a feature to come.
All right. Which video player are you using in the app?
For the live video solution.
I assume so.
Yes, so it is inbuilt. So if we talk about live performances, it is inbuilt in the app. So how it works, automatically, if there's a video solution provided for the concert, obviously you as an organizer inform your audience members that there is such a feature available. Mm-hmm. Automatically, if they open your event, so let's say this is happening tonight, 27th, the National Opera House in Warsaw, we see that event in the app. That is always the first one because it's working on a geolocation. So if you open the app, it is the first one. And once you open the event, the only thing that the audience member needs to do is connect to Wi-Fi, called ONSTAGE. We keep it all the same name, so it's very easy for them to understand. And once they connect to the internal Wi-Fi called ONSTAGE, automatically a video button appears in the app. And once they click, they just get full screen view. Mm-hmm. They can choose between the cameras because there is a small menu of 4 cameras available. And for everybody actually who is interested exactly how it looks like, on our official website, onstageapplication.com, there is a short video which has been recorded during one of the concerts here in Warsaw. So you will see an audience member who is using the application for the video solution. So I think this will, it will be much better than me explaining exactly how it works.
Yeah.
We can see that in that video on the website.
Yeah. Also, for the viewers to know, we will, on the Classical Next website, we will have all these links available with your tutorial video. So for any further information, you can go there and it will be sent out in our upcoming newsletter as well. Just a couple more questions. They're still coming in. Do you have experience with the workings of the app outside of the classical world?
We've had few, ideas of how we can do this, and definitely it is very easily adjustable to other concerts like festivals of pop music or even sport, different things that can use the benefit of an audience member or a viewer of a live event who are sitting too far away to see the details, because that's all about it. To be closer, in our case, in classical music industry, to be closer to the artist, but in any other type of event, to be closer to whoever is the performer. It can be a sport person, it can be, a pop star. Yeah. Yes, it is all possible, But the trouble here is the technology that is really a big limit. So to be honest, we are waiting a little bit about 5G to come in for the commercial use, because that will take away from us the need of the Wi-Fi setup. But again, it is a few years to come, because it is not only about the network being provided, but it's also about all of us to change our devices, which will have to have 5G feature, which none of these have yet.
Yeah, understand. Okay. And what about experience with open air concerts?
We haven't done it yet, but it is possible, of course.
Okay. All right. How do you filter the concerts that appear near you when you look for some event close by? For example, if there are 100 events in Berlin, for example, in that period.
Yes. So then it's again by the date. So first thing is the geolocation, and the second factor is the date. So it will be like your Facebook page. This is, if you open the app now, there is already a number of concerts by the National Opera House available. So what you do, you just scroll down to see all of the list of the concerts that are available. And if you already have the name, you remember the organizer, you just put it into the search, and then it just sorts for you only the concerts that were made available by this organizer.
Okay, understood. All right. A question just came in as well, and we touched on it briefly before, but it does have to be the actual ONSTAGE team who's with the actual video audio recording for live performances, correct?
Audio, no. We have nothing to do with audio. That is very important. We only...
Yeah, because the video is actually, there's no sound coming through.
Correct.
Because
yes.
It's only in the concert hall.
Correct.
I'm learning.
Yes. So when it comes to the video solution, yes, it has to be somebody from our part for two things. One person to make sure that the cameras are showing the most important, most interesting things in real time. And we use here our devices because of the delay. So this has really strictly to do with what we provide for our audience members is the best possible performance for them. And then is the Wi-Fi setup, that even if your concert hall already has an existing Wi-Fi, we will not be able to use it because we really provide a super fast Wi-Fi, because technically 4 cameras are streaming live video at the same time for each of the audience members. Yeah. So we provide access points in the zone which is smartphone friendly to make sure that the number of people who are coming into the concert hall, and if they all connect at the same time, they will all have smooth video transmission to their smartphones.
Yeah, but just to be clear again, that's only if you decide to have this extra option of having the video solution from a live concert.
Yes, absolutely. So when it comes to the digital program booklet, we don't need to travel. Of course, it is a completely fully software solution. So what it takes only is to create an account on the administrative panel, and with one click, once everything is provided, you just make it available in the app, and it appears there.
Okay, all right. So I see 2 more questions. How do you deal with IP rights?
IP rights?
IP rights, that's the question.
Is it
with IP addresses, I imagine, or?
Well, IP we provide for the video solution, but I imagine this could have something with maybe with the artist rights. Maybe that's a shortcut for something.
Actually, can you tell us about it?
Yes, of course. So when it comes to the rights, there's no additional fee that has to be provided for the artist when we talk about the video solution, because it's literally digital binoculars. Because our app is not a streaming platform, that means that the picture that we provide with the video solution is only available for people who are anywhere in a concert hall.
Right.
It doesn't go outside. So there is no additional, fees that artists could demand, like in a situation of YouTube or Facebook streams, because it is not going outside of the concert hall. So that is one maybe question that could be, a part of it, answer to the question. And the other could be about the PDF music scores, I imagine, because that also has been raised a few times. If you provide a PDF music score in the app, what about these rights? So we have different experiences. So obviously there is a number of music scores available on IMSLP and internet, which are for free, so you can just put it in. That is no problem. But when it comes to something that has copyrights, then different publishers have different approach to that, because there is no law for that, actually, yet. It will come. But for now, there is no law, and different publishers have different approach. Some just said, okay, use it, but just make sure that nobody can download it. And as answer to that question, there is no possibility to download the PDF music score from the app. It's just to review. That's one thing. And some publishers I know have asked for few extra percent of the payment that they already make anyway if you rent a score for the public performance. This is our experience. Okay,
all right. Okay, and then so this will be the last question from our viewers. What is the difference for the independent artists ONSTAGE app and personal websites?
I think the idea here that I have at least is not only to have everybody directed only to your website, but it's again the cross-promotion aspect. So if we have number of artists who present their collections or whatever information in the app, automatically they reach not only their fans who are going to the website, but people, the audience members who have been attracted to use the app for another artist will automatically be exposed to whatever you are providing as well. That means that we're extending our marketing using the marketing resources of all of the other either artists or concert organizers who are using the same solution. That is the idea.
Okay, understood. All right, well, that's all we will have time for today. I'm afraid time has just gone by so quickly. But as I understand, all the viewers can contact ONSTAGE directly. Of course, Classical Next will make all the contact details available. And for anyone who has additional questions right now, I'm sorry that we couldn't get to all of them. You are taking questions through your Instagram page.
Correct.
Classical Next will also link to you, so you can find it that way. And of course, like I said before, the tutorial will be made available online, and I'm sure you'll have no problem for viewers getting in touch with you directly, Jakub.
That is correct. I'm waiting for more.
Yeah. Well, from my side, thank you so much, Jakub, for joining us today. I certainly learned a lot, and I hope our viewers have as well. And I know that there's a lot to understand and a lot to cover, which we've only just ever so slightly touched on today. But thank you so much for your time. And it's a shame that we can't meet in Rotterdam in person this year. But of course, this video will be available and the conversation will continue.
Thank you very much for the invitation. It's been a big pleasure. And I hope that we'll be able to meet normally next year for the conference.
Yeah, let's hope for that. And also just a little message from Classical Next for anyone who would like to share their ideas, please get in touch. We'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to know what everyone is up to across the world, across the art music ecosystem. It's important to us, and we'd love to share it with everybody else. So thank you very much, and we'll see you again really soon.